Welcome all as we congregate to the greatest toy line community, ever growing, ever changing. As we collect and adapt these figures to our own imaginations and embrace the fun, there's much to learn, especially if you're new to Mythics. Hey, good afternoon, friends, and welcome to another episode of New to Mythics, episode 36, with my good friend Diego. Diego has returned. Thank you very much. Thank you for the shirt. I appreciate you wearing that. I'm actually, it's not cool, but I'm wearing my own shirt today. It was brand, so I grabbed it. So, thank you very much for coming back, man. That it means a lot. You know, thank you.
Of course, dude. Like, you're a great supporter of the line, a great member of the community. I'm always happy to jump on and chit chat with you. You're an awesome dude.
Thank you.
That's why I gotta rep the Smurf.
That's
Smurf
right.
shirt.
Smurf. Let's dive into it. First off, did you get sick? I gotta ask that.
Yes, I got super sick after Legion's Con.
Jeez, man.
Yeah, like we had the day off on Monday after Legion's Con because we were bushwhacked, but like on actually starting Saturday, I was feeling my throat was funny, and I was like, oh, it's just from talking, from like
that's what I thought. I'm like, I'm talking too much. I gotta shut up,
and it was not that. Yeah, Monday came around and I was like, I feel even worse. And I took a test and I was like, uh-oh, I got hit with the COVID.
Yeah.
So I was knocked out of commission for about a week, and I missed Designer Con because of it. I was so
in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So you were planning on going to that?
Yeah, I was supposed to go. And then I got wrecked by Legion's Con.
Damn,
Foxus and his legions happened to infiltrate.
Yeah, no kidding. How many other members of the studio were affected by?
I think about 5 of us.
Okay,
which is like a good chunk.
Right? Yeah, that's almost half of your staff, man.
Yeah, that's like about a third, probably, maybe a little less. But yeah, we got our butts kicked by COVID this year, but we're all doing better now. We're all
good.
On the mend, and
absolutely.
Back at work.
Yes, back to it. You've suddenly gotten busy. That kind of segues into the first thing. I woke up, very excited. We've got the new Figure Obscura drop, which we're very excited for. And I gotta say, a lot of people are talking. It's a buzz, man. And you do have something to show off. There you go. Got the beautiful
new Figure Obscura. This was mine. I already opened it. But you can see the artwork on the box,
beautiful.
The house in the background, Nate Barch art. And then there's this awesome.
That's so cool.
And a lot of people have commented on Jeremy over here.
Yeah, he's like.
So funny story about that.
Very stern.
You can see Jim is in the middle. He's like the big focal point.
Yes. Yeah,
and that was supposed to be like the big surprise. We also got Vern, Cameron.
Yes.
This is actually Jim's wife, Barb, Jim, Cookie, Walt, and then Jeremy. And Jeremy didn't know about himself. He didn't. That was like added secretly. And we're in the studio, and it was the week of Legion's Con, actually. And Jeremy's like looking at the figure for the first time in person. And he's looking at it, and it's me and Chris in the room, and he's like, oh, did Jim see the artwork? And we're like, oh yeah, we did, blah blah blah. And we're like, well, did you see the artwork? And when he's holding it like this, like he's just looking like this.
He's like, yeah, I've seen it. Yeah,
I've seen it. And we're like, no, have you really seen it? And he's like, And then he goes like this, and he sees it, and he goes, "Oh, what the?" And there was an expletive at the end.
Yes.
But it was so good.
I love that.
Chris and I just were dying laughing.
Oh man. Yeah, that's hilarious. Did he know about the coffee mug too? Because wasn't he like at the bottom of the coffee mug?
Not this one.
And no, Marley.
Oh, and the one. No, he didn't know about that.
Okay, yeah, I thought that was funny too.
But here's the Christmas past one,
fantastic.
Which, just as a disclaimer for everyone, do not put this in the microwave. This is metallic paint, so not good for the microwave.
Now, can I ask? I didn't get clarification. I was watching the broadcast of Trevor, and he said, "I know, but I don't know if it's known." But can I ask who did the art for the drawing of the Ghost of Christmas Past?
Oh, Nate Barch did all this art.
No, I meant on the cup
the
pin.
I don't know who did the line art. Oh, and I did have the pin, by the way.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it kind of looks David Williams-ish to me, but
I would have to ask George. I don't remember who.
I'm sure it'll come out, but
yeah,
the art is beautiful. The art on the box, I love the presentation that you guys do for Figure Obscura, like that. The whole marketing thing of, like, you know, the panel that opens and displaying, like, yeah. I love that. I just wonder if that will bleed into, like, the future of maybe the Mythic line too, where they have like the deluxe stuff that might have, you know, maybe a fancier box or something. Like, I wonder if they've ever thought of doing that, or is it just special maybe to Figure Obscura?
Well, there are no plans, as far as I know, to branch it over, but it's not out of the realm of possibility. One of the things about, there's like pluses and minuses to this style of packaging. One, it's super beautiful, and you get that whole diorama aspect that's built in, which is great. But the one thing about it that, you know, isn't great is if you're selling it like as a retailer or in-person events, you don't really see the product because it's, you know, sealed and it's covered in
that's true.
So that's always been something that we've tried to figure out. And, you know, we're still, you know, I have actually here also the retailer wave that just dropped yesterday. So
yes,
we have the Figure Obscura of the Red Death, and the artwork is slightly different for those, for the backdrops and all that. But, and then, you know, obviously you got Monkey King, the new one.
Mine's in the mail. It's on the way. Love it.
Nice, more sunset sort of color scheme. I actually love the artwork for the Monkey King one.
Yes.
More. And then we got the Jacob Marley.
Yeah, that one I need to. I don't have the first version. I need to get that second.
Oh, you don't have the first one?
No, but I wasn't a fan of the translucent legs. I like the painted legs on this one better. So I'm glad I kind of held out for it.
Yeah.
And it's cool too that the undead Viking is in like the regular packaging, as opposed to, there you go, opposed to it being in a box or something. It's,
yeah, I mean, it's a Mythic Legions, you know, standard figure. So it would be in a regular Mythic packaging. This is the one that I've already opened because I like things Viking and I like all things skeleton. So this one really speaks to me. Actually, with this one, there's like the runes,
I love
or
that.
like not the runes, but like the kind of knotwork design.
Yeah.
And I remember when Eric was like planning this one out, I suggested to him, like, instead of putting runes or any like actual real world like Viking writing or anything, to do like a more of a knotwork design, because, you know, it first off it gives it the aesthetic, but also makes it so that it's not grounded necessarily in like earth,
right,
you know, and like
yes,
with real world history things. And also, as someone who's been in a lot of Viking related hobbies. Unfortunately, a lot of crappy people co-opt a lot of imagery from
Yeah.
Viking stuff, which really sucks. And you know, the Viking reenactors, you know, and LARP and, you know, enthusiast community really dislikes that, a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it's always safe to like stay away from certain things just because like
Right.
you don't mean to do something and then it ends up some, you know, group of idiots co-opted
Right.
that
Right.
room for their logo.
Right. 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 No, I love the design. So is that he kind of listened to your suggestion and kind of did,
Yeah.
design?
Yeah, he went with the more like not work style.
Yeah, I love that.
And what's crazy is like, so he like digitally made it and then like gave the reference to Sherry, and Sherry like painted it like exact on the prototype, and
That's incredible.
it's so tiny and intricate,
Look
and
at
like
that. Oh
this
my
is the production one, but Sherry's was like just as good, if not better. I mean,
amazing.
the factory copies exactly what we give them, so you know, it's insane. She's so
Yeah,
talented.
absolutely. Yep. She's said she would be on, so I gotta have her on soon.
Oh yeah.
The just the nuances of things like that skeleton head is so cool that they throw in, like, they could have just had just the basic skeleton heads, or different helmeted heads, but instead they also added one that has the designs that just makes it even more unique. um
And the one thing that I feel like, you know, people sleep on with this figure, it comes with this head, and this is actually a head that was tooled up forever ago when I think the advent of the K line was
mhm.
tooled, and it was just never used. And this is the first time this head has come out in production. So I mean, here's just the base
Yeah.
head as it is, but the original skeleton soldier came with this head
Mhm.
and the, you know, blank one, which this one has the knotwork on it. So
that
this one never came out before.
that one on your left hand, that's the one that went with the female, the
Yeah,
skeleton soldier, right? With the
yeah,
horns. She had the horns.
yeah,
Yeah, I love that figure.
yeah. Me too. It's great, and you know, we haven't really seen any 2.0 skeletons in a long time, so it's
Right.
really cool that we got one with this release,
Yeah.
especially with like Necronominus like almost here. Like it's almost
Yes.
here.
It's almost here. I'm so
Yeah.
excited.
I can't wait to
Um,
say it is here.
yes, I know. I'm at first I was disappointed. Just me as a fan talking to a studio person, I was like, what are they going to have at the table? Like, they've got to have Necronominus. Maybe they're, this is all chat talk, maybe, because we all like to speculate, what's going to happen or what's going to be there, and I'm like, what are they going to sell? Like, Necronominus has to be there. And they're like, no, they're saying that it's not there. And I'm like, well, maybe they just fudged it and didn't give us an update and it's really going to be there. But I'm glad that it wasn't there because, yeah, I would have been destroyed. You guys, um, like, I want to talk about that too. So shifting gears a little bit to Legions Con real quick. I do want to backtrack back to Figure Obscura because it's
Oh yeah.
amazing. But
Yeah. I forgot to
I
even show off the figure
yes,
herself.
we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. Um, I waited. I had to choose. So people were like, "Are you going to do the armory? Are you going to do the vendor? Are you going to do the horseman table?" And I'm like, "I got to go to the horseman table. Those are my bros. I got to see Diego at the register." But I just wanted to see what you guys had. Like, and I was not disappointed. Like, I got there at 3 a.m. and I waited. I slept. I sat. I watched. I talked. Speculated. But I was just astounded by the stuff that was there. Like I got Steel Knight. You guys had I picked up a couple of version 1 cavern dwarves. I picked up a couple of Iron Knights. I got the deluxe Legion female Legion builder. I'm a female Mythic fan, but I was just like, oh my God. And so I was sitting after my shock and my wallet was destroyed by all the pickups and on the table. I sat down and Jeremy was taking a break, Jeremy Gerard, and eating his classic chicken strips that he shovels in real quick to take a break. And I said, Jeremy, I gotta ask, dude, like, are these reissues? Because like these are old figures, like the deluxe female Legion builder, the night deluxe. He goes, no, these are all warehouse finds. And I was just like, oh my God, like the system that you guys have blows me away. That you have, like, you know, because a lot of people, and this is insight for maybe you guys don't know, but a lot of us speculated that you had given out, or not given out, sold all of your warehouse finds, or given them in the mystery boxes. So a lot of people are like, no, they don't have any left. There's no more warehouse finds. There's not gonna. And I'm like, no, dude. So Jeremy's like, those are all warehouse finds. I'm like, are you serious? These are where, like, so I thought that maybe this stuff was reissued, like remade, you know, in China. But these are like, you guys saved a lot of, like, people found Hadriana, Aether was there, single pack, like amazing.
Yep.
I was just like, oh my God.
We had a lot of like low number stuff, less than a case, and it would be like, we don't want to just take this to any show because it's such a low amount. But we're like, we have to move it somehow, and some of it we moved through the mystery box sale, and that was like some of the like really low quantity stuff.
I got a Morgulith, so thank you. I was like, oh crap.
You want to, you know, I when we were doing that sale, I was like, oh man, because I do have a Morgulith, but I was like, I really would want another one, and I was like, you know what, no, we already told the fans that these are going in the box. Yeah. I'm not going to deprive a fan of a Morgulith. There she is.
I did put another cape on her, but I actually gave my purple armory her cape.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so he's got her kind of smaller, kind of soft cape,
the old school style.
Yeah, but it's just simple. It drapes on the back of his, it sits on the back of his really well. But so you guys have it, like, it just astounds me how much you guys have it figured out down to the figure, like, of, you know, like your inventory and what you have. Like, that blows my mind.
Yeah, well, we cleared out a lot of the you know, warehouse finds at this Legions Con, like, because, you know, we were like, you know what, we're holding on to a lot of this stuff to spread out here and there. We're already running low on some of them, and we need the space, frankly. You know, we've got Necronominus coming in.
Huge.
We had, you know, this Ghost of Christmas pass in the warehouse. You know, just tons of stuff we have in the warehouse, and room is at peak.
Yeah.
So the retailer wave, which arrived during Intern for a Day. I don't know if you realize that, but
I wasn't sure what it was. You guys didn't really, like, you know, maybe I could ask Cookie or something like, hey, what's in the boxes? But, you know, I got to be respectful and cool. What did happen, though, was an Intern. I was standing next to CB, and I said, hadn't taken the tour yet. And I said, hey, is that you guys' warehouse? He goes, yeah, you want to take a tour? And I'm like, what am I going to say? No. So I walked out there, and for people that haven't been there, the warehouse is like a long, kind of like, I'm not going to say a corridor, but it's like the length of the building, but there's also a wall that separates a warehouse part on the other side. Am I describing that right?
The warehouse is we have a lot of different spaces in that building that we utilize. So
this was nice. This was like where Nate was doing his demonstration.
Yeah.
So I walked through that doorway, and Cornboy took me down this one corridor, and I know it kind of L's back to where Bill Mancuso was working.
Oh yeah,
but there's another way on the other. There's a wall that goes in and it runs parallel, I guess. And so Cornboy started to take me that way, and Cookie's like, whoa, there's secrets over there. don't send them that way. So I like turned around. I'm like, hey, I didn't see anything. I didn't see anything.
Yeah.
So that was probably, all the figure obscura and all that stuff, retail and
Yeah, we had a couple secret. I mean, one was like the Ninian infantry that we had at Legion's
yes,
Con.
that was.
Obviously, Ghost of Christmas Past. And a couple more things maybe that are yet to come.
I wanted to ask, not necessarily about secrets. I respect you guys, and I never want to get a reveal of anything because I love the surprises. That's what Trevor was talking about today, is just the excitement of the drop. Like, that's so exciting. But my question to you, and I just wonder this, but how far in advance do you guys know about stuff? Like, is it like the development, like Eric is running through the office, like, look what I made? Or like, how far ahead, or does it vary on the figure? Like,
Well, with figuras, it's usually about a year in advance.
mm-hmm.
Maybe a little less, maybe a little more, depending on the figure. I think Monkey King was in development for like a good long while before it came out. But yeah, the Figura stuff, it's usually like about, and I think Anubis and Bastet were actually pretty, like, took a little while, maybe a little over a year.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of the times when we, make figuras, there's also other uses for those parts for like down the line.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you saw Jeremy's post, but Ghost of Christmas Past, if you take off all the robes, is like a completely blank female
Yes,
body, like bare arms, bare legs, so it's like a great blank for future mythics or cosmics, to be honest.
absolutely. Yeah.
um Same with Anubis and Bastet. That was the first time a lot of like the new arms and legs were used. Yeah, it's just, and then Frankenstein introduced this new longer, lankier 1.0 body,
I love that
which,
body.
yeah, which, who knows, could get reused down the line in something else. I would personally love
I
it.
just wonder, would they be able to remove like the stitches and stuff like that? Is that something I wonder if the factory would be able to? Because isn't it part of
No,
the tooling like that?
yeah, that's part of the tooled torso. It would have to be a whole new blank torso.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but you never know. You never know what's gonna come up, what's gonna be used.
Mm-hmm.
The
That's
dragon, for
always,
instance, we
yes.
knew about that for a while. Um,
That's another, leads to another question. Let's go back because I want to go back to the dragon. I've got slides and everything, but I do want to show off the Ghost of Christmas Past. It's just a the head sculpts are just beautiful.
oh yeah, let me see if
Can you see them? Is it on the screen? I can't tell.
no, it is
It's
not.
not. Oh no. Okay, let me see. Oh, I haven't shared it. Here we go. Now I'm sharing.
There we
Okay,
go.
there we go. And then you actually have the
I do. I'm gonna.
figure.
Oh,
You don't have
and
to open yours, man. I feel
there's
bad now.
there's a secret in here. I wonder what that is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I already had opened mine. I just popping out the alternate heads because I forgot to pop those out. And there's a ton of hands too, but I'm not going to pop those out right
I
now.
love that now. I love that there's more hands with these figures.
Let's see. But yeah, this figure is. I was super excited for it. So you've got the little like candle
Mm-hmm.
light snuff, like it's part of the story. It's like it's a large version of like the thing to snuff out a candle.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got the heads. We've got the kind of
Beautiful.
like half aged,
Mm-hmm.
head. And what's cool about these heads is you actually can take the hair off.
Mm-hmm.
and swap it. So then we've got the kind of
Half turning.
morphing into
Yeah.
that aged head. So, and you just like pop it in there. If I can do it.
Can I see it up close? I want to see the aged. Yeah,
So I'll put
aged
them.
piece.
So we've got the like aged, then the halfway, and then the one
Yeah.
on the
Wow.
figure. The
That
one on
is
the figure
cool.
is the youthful, completely
Yeah.
youthful. So
That's
then
awesome.
let's show that off.
Wow. It's just ethereal and beautiful.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's one thing I love about this figure is like it's like ethereal nature.
Yes.
Um it's got this cool part that you can actually use for other 2.0
I was going
figures to
to
add.
ask about that. Do the arms on that little back piece, do they detach?
Oh yeah.
They do. So they're just a regular set of arms attached to
Also
that.
this hair comes off.
Yes.
So you can
Love
swap
that.
all the different looks. Let's see if I can. So this is how those extra arms
Yeah.
attach.
So
So
that
this
back
plugs.
piece is like a new piece.
Yeah, this is a whole new piece. And these arms, I don't have any heat right now,
No, that's okay. I don't want you to break anything, but
but
I was
they
just
do
curious.
pop out, and you could put other um,
Appendages
2.0
or
arms in there.
things. Yeah.
So like you can have
Wow.
many multi-armed characters, and then her just as is like looks great.
Yes. I'm a
Let's switch
fan.
it up.
I love it.
Let's put the more ghastly head, and with the regular hair, give her a different look. If I can, there we go. So like,
Yeah, I love that.
almost looks like a Thrace before like
Yes.
complete like. Although
Yeah.
I think Thrace is like a specific like fantasy race, but
Mhm.
like this looks like a more humanoid, like
Yeah, it's very ghostly, I think. I don't know if you remember, there's a scene in Raiders, The Lost Ark, where
yeah,
they're looking into the ark and there's like a beautiful floating specter and she's real beautiful, but then as she gets closer, she's got like a horrific face and like that's when they start screaming and faces melting and all that stuff. But yeah,
classic.
I love this. I love it that it's kind of simple, but not in a, you know, it's
Yeah,
beautifully made, but it's less, it's spare, it's what am I trying to say?
it
I love it.
it definitely like it's not like super gaudy or like got all these crazy like
Mhm.
sculptural details, but
Yeah,
like just like the soft goods alone, like these two pieces of fabric that like you could probably they're all wired too. So
yeah,
like you can bend them
wow,
around
yeah,
and pose them, you know, like
yeah,
you could do something really like crazy, like almost,
yeah, I love it.
you know,
I
and
might need to buy another one tonight.
yeah, dude, this is an extremely fun toy. I
Yeah,
actually was more psyched about this than Jacob Marley, to be honest, because
I am for sure. Yeah,
it's just such a cool figure. And yeah, like it's got great potential too, like from
yes,
even a customizer perspective.
yeah,
Um,
I love that the studio like has, they I think they think about the customizers as well as the people like me that just love to open the box and put it on the shelf. I'm happy with most, 99% of the figures that I put on the shelf. I don't usually do anything with. I might put a cape on or something, but a lot
mhm.
of the customizers, they see these figures as bucks or as, parts and pieces and soft goods and things that they can create with. And I think the
Oh yeah,
studio kind of realizes that and you know runs with it also and makes these amazing figures.
and even like just the simple accessories, like this little, like like
Like a
this is another
staff.
like
Yeah,
it's a staff, but it's also like the same thing as the other
yeah,
accessory, like to put out a candle,
yeah,
one of those. But like turning it into like this cool, elegant staff. Like that was awesome. Even like the little teeny, like, mistletoe,
Yeah,
holly
I didn't know it
piece.
came with that.
And last but not least, you've got this amazing
Yes,
like diorama like
yes.
piece of like the sidewalk with the snow and the street lamp. It's just, it's like a continuation of the Red Death
Hmm.
figura, where you have that big clock, which I actually like the retailer version more. I don't know if
What's the difference between the clocks? Is there a difference?
yeah, the retailer one, it's, you can kind of see it's got a lot more gold.
Oh,
um
okay.
if you look on sourcehorseman.com, you can see it more, but like
I'll check it out.
there's all these gold accents on the retailer one. It's the same sculpt, but the paint just transforms it.
Hmm.
And it was like after the fact. We were, obviously Red Death had already come out. We usually do any kind of repaints for retailers after the figura is
Hmm.
out. Like we don't plan them at the same time. And it was like afterwards, we're like, oh man, this is so cool. Like that, I kind of like this better than the original.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, I know a
but
lot of people are speculating on Frankenstein's creature of like the differences. So a lot of us are excited about what the differences might be. How long is the wait? Is it a full year? Is it 6, 7 months between the retail and the?
well, what we've done the last few times is done a retailer wave. So for the first retailer exclusive offering ever was the Red Krampus,
Mhm.
which was, I don't remember when that was offered to retailers, but it came out about a year later. It
Mhm.
came out, I think December 2022, and 2021 was when the original Krampus came out.
Mhm.
Um, and then we started doing the retailer wave. So 2023 in March, we solicited the retailer wave, and that one was, who was it? The Green Father Christmas
Mhm.
and the Headless Horseman, the
The
Green
green, yeah.
Flame Headless Horseman. Um, and again, those were kind of done like after the originals. So when we saw the Green Flame Headless Horseman, we were like, oh man, this is actually
Yeah, for
pretty
sure.
awesome.
It kind of it like in case you miss the opportunity, you get another chance. But also for the people that have the original, hey, here's a different version. So it's a win-win, I think, on those.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
fun.
but yeah, just to remind you guys, this is a Christmas figure, and all of our Christmas figuras have come with a little secret.
Hmm.
So I'm not going to reveal it here. I'm going to let you be surprised,
Absolutely,
but
absolutely.
but know that
I
there's a little present in there.
I love too that the holiday versions, like they kind of stand on their own. Like my fiance, like she saw the Krampus and loved it. The Father Christmas figures, like they're cool. I think to even display with your decorations, and I think this
Yeah.
figure also has that kind of with the mistletoe and the lamp and stuff. Like you can really get a cool holiday display going with your Father Christmases and Krampus if you want to go dark and Marley and the Ghost of Christmas Past and stuff. So I think stuff like that appeals to people, but it also shows I think that the studio really enjoys the holidays. I think
Hmm.
they are fans of Christmas maybe. So I think that's cool.
I can tell you, Chris is definitely a fan of Christmas. He'll start playing Christmas music the day after Halloween.
I
Like,
believe it.
he's already been playing it nonstop, and we're like, Chris, it's not even Thanksgiving. Come on,
Yeah.
give us a
Yeah. Yeah. Give us a break. Give us a break. But yeah, I'm very excited about this. I love figure obscuras. I love the surprises. Um and I don't know, I just it's a lot of fun. So I'm really excited. Looks like for now the all in is sold out, the pin is
break.
sold out. They do have the basic figure and the cards.
Hmm.
And the studio did add the figure obscura, the original Ghost of Jacob Marley, and Father Christmas. So if people missed out on those, then there's, you have another opportunity to pick those up. So that is sweet.
Yeah.
So let's get back to Legion's Con now.
Legion's Con.
What was your impression? I know you guys, it ramps up for you guys. Like I kind of witnessed a glimpse of how much you guys work. I was there for intern, and I did see, a Big G and Cookie out there busting those boxes out. But I know that you guys have to transport by truck all the stuff for Legion's Con, and I saw, like, behind the curtains, all of the figures that you guys had for the table, and then you had to set up armory. Like, you guys work your butts off, man. Like, when does the work part, like, when does that start for you guys?
That's a very, I mean, the work's going throughout the year, to be honest.
Yeah.
It starts like this year. It was getting the armory pieces ready, getting the pieces chosen, what was gonna be done, get them painted. The factory has to make them. But then on top of that, we have like the amazing life sizes that Bill and Dan have done the last couple of years, and
that's amazing.
Scapular was this year's, and that takes months of preparation and building and making. And from Bill takes like the original files of the figures, and then he alters the sculpts so that they're for a life-size statue. Like, he has
really, I didn't know that.
He gets rid of like the articulation, and then fills it in so it looks like it's life size, a real life individual. Maybe adds a couple more details, or it just fleshes it out. And then we have to print the pieces. Some of the pieces that are too large for us, we have another business print them for us. We set the files and they print them. And all the assembly and painting, they all do it in-house. So
Ziri, I still will stop and stare at Ziri. Like,
oh yeah,
I mean, it's literally like a blown up exact copy of the figure. I guess I didn't think about that he was using the actual files of the figures. That blows me away even more.
Yeah.
So when do you guys start transporting? So you guys are working throughout the year on different aspects, like, because you have China involved, so you got to make sure that the exclusives and the surprises, like the Ninian and stuff like that. So throughout the year, you guys are working on that stuff. So when does the actual logistic, you guys start, okay, we're going to start moving this stuff here. And I can't imagine the undertaking.
Well, this year we were lucky and we were able to get into that space starting Wednesday. So that was like a huge help, because we got everything pretty much transported, and at least on the store aspect, I want to say 90% of it set up on Wednesday. And that also included transporting dioramas, the dragon,
You got so many secrets. It's like, how do you unload stuff without a crowd of people? You know what I mean?
I don't know how they snuck it in, because I wasn't there. I was at the studio getting other things ready for the show and for intern. It was like Cookie and the warehouse guys were at the hotel, and Jeremy was there, and George, and they were all kind of bringing everything in and then setting up. Cookie and Vern were setting up a lot of the tables, because Cookie essentially was going to be in charge of keeping it like stocked
Mhm.
and managing like
This poor guy was just running. Like he was trying to keep an eye on, like just take one, and making sure things were stocked, answering questions. Him and Vern were kind of like, I'm like, you guys, man, are just working your butts off. I can't imagine the long days that you guys have.
a lot of long days leading up to that. Yeah, it was what else on one, because Thursday was intern, right?
I was gonna ask you, do you think that intern would be better like maybe like a week before, or is it sweet that it's like it's boom boom boom, but it seems like it just make it harder for you guys because like the armory, you had to set it up for us an intern, which I loved, my favorite thing, but then you guys got to pick everything up and move it to, or was it set up already there? Did you guys have another version of armory there already?
No, it was all the same setup. Because the room where the armory was where GCon was.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Oh,
we had to,
I didn't even think about that.
yeah. So we had to set it all up as soon as that got broken down and the tables were put in. And yeah, it was. I mean, the thing is, there's a lot of fans who come to who win the lottery and get tickets to intern that come from out of town,
Yes.
you're like yourself.
Yeah.
And it's it's a big ask to have them come all the way for that and then come a week later for
Yeah.
Legions.
I didn't think about that.
So,
It just seems like more work for you guys.
well, it's more like it's, we want to be considerate of the fans that make these big
Mhm.
trips and make it worth their while. So it's more work on our end, but we do it so that it's better for the community.
Mhm. So like getting kind of a basic um view of your work on Legions Con until the event, and then it's over, and then you guys are packing stuff up and leaving, that when it's over,
Yeah.
it kind of gives me the thought, like, is there any point in the year that there's a lull where it's like, whew, okay, because now you've
Well,
got Figure Obscura, now you've
yeah.
got Necro coming, and then All-Star 6 on its heels, and you know what I mean? Like, is there ever a time where it's like you can just kind of
There's there's some pockets. I mean, it all depends, because like, a lull for me might not be a lull for
Mhm.
the shop side, where they're
Mhm.
painting and cleaning and making dioramas.
Mhm.
Like for me, honestly, there was a chunk of October where it was pretty like smooth sailing, and I was doing good. But the rest of the studio was like mad dash trying to get everything done
Yeah.
for Legions Con.
Yeah.
Um, but then again, last January to really May, I was like nonstop, like busy,
Right.
and there were plenty of
It's
times
a
where
busy
like,
year.
yeah, yeah, no, there was like a good couple months where I was just like nonstop, like things
That's
had
why
to
I didn't
come.
bug you. I'm like, I'm going to give him some time before I ask him to come on because I know he's running his butt off.
Oh no, it's we got a couple days off now, so
Yeah.
we had a half day Wednesday, we had off obviously Thanksgiving, we had off yesterday, and then today and tomorrow. Although I did get up early to make sure that everything was running okay with the Figura
Mhm.
drop.
So whenever I guess I'm just assuming that when the big waves hit, that's when you really start because you're not really like you're shipping or or a part of the shipping, but you're not actually like throwing boxes in. Like you're dealing with the shipping labels
Yeah.
and all the billing aspects and things like that. So that's when your job really ramps up, I'm assuming, or
Yeah, I basically I organize the shipments, make sure all the information's correct. And I also do customer service. But now I have some help, so you know, it's been a big help recently to just catch up
Yeah,
with stuff. Um,
absolutely.
but I also manage, retailer payments
Mhm,
and keeping track of that, and getting retailer shipments ready. So, and on top of that, like for shows, I'm the one who does the back end checkout system and
mhm,
all that, and I get a lot of things ready for list like this Figura
mhm,
drop. Like I set up a lot of stuff on the back end. I I'm in charge of a lot of the back end
mhm.
operations.
Yeah. And have you noticed, like, since there's been, like, I've noticed there's been a bigger influx of community in the cabal. And so I feel like the studio has noticed, or has grown more. Like, I see more employees, and it seems like, more drops. Like, when one pre order ends, something new comes. Um, so I think it's a good sign, right? Like the business has grown. And have you noticed, like, so like there's maybe less lulls in the time because you're getting ready for boom, 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 like this is coming up.
Well, it's hard to say because like, well, now ever since the July in stock sale that we did, we've now kept product
Mm.
up on the site like perpetually. So we have, if you go to the site, even besides the Figure Obscura drop, there's
Yes.
a bunch of figures that you can order and get from Store Horseman.
Yeah, I love that. Like, and I think a lot of people are appreciating that. There's always some stuff. It's like, hey, say I'm telling my friend about this new line of Mythics, and I'm like, the Dark Templar is a great figure, and then boom, the guy, whoever it is, or I can hop on and add to cart for $26, and boom, it's like I don't have to look for it. I don't have to find it on secondary. It's
Mhm,
just there. So I think that's a huge win for us as fans.
mhm.
But it does keep you guys busier
Yeah.
because you've got to get the stock in. So those things are, I'm guessing, are reissued stuff, right? The things that are in the store.
Well, the stuff that's on the store right now is mostly like for them. It's mostly items that were Store Horseman exclusives.
Okay.
There are a couple things from like older waves that we have up. We try not to put too many things that like our retailers are also
Right.
carrying because we don't want to compete with them. Um, but it's you know it's definitely like changed. Like we're a little more busy with shipping,
Mhm.
but like still it's not too bad. Like it evens out. But like when there's a pre-order going on, like right now, Reign of the Beasts, or well, let's say the Ox Crew 2 wave.
Mhm.
Um, that's usually like a little bit of a quiet time for me because it's all a pre-order, so nothing's like new is getting
Right.
shipped. It's that's where all the focus is. Then when we do an in-stock drop or a wave arrives, then I get significantly busier. So like
Yes.
Monday, I'm gonna be it's got
Yes.
probably gonna be a long day for me Monday. Probably gonna
Yeah.
be burning the midnight oil.
I know on the Trevor's podcast this morning, Bill Janowski was like, if you want your figure obscura fast, then either buy the all in or just the single by itself, because they probably have some pre-boxed. But when you start adding, a Farius and the builder, the limbs, it's going to slow down a little bit because you guys have to build those boxes and put the stuff in there.
Yeah, that is true. The thing that'll always go out the quickest are the singles.
Mhm.
Because that's easy to start with. I can print those out without really having to adjust much. It's bing bang boom, ready to go. Same with the all-ins.
Do they come already packaged and boxed, or do you guys have to box them individually?
Oh
Or
no, we got to make them individually. There might be take a little bit longer this time because we had a delay with the Christmas cards, so we weren't able to pre-box as much as we'd like, and also people really have been enjoying the couple items that we added to the site within the last week before this. So we actually had a good amount of orders just that weren't related to this that we had to get out the door. So
I noticed that the Gold Knight, it like comes back and then sells out and comes back and sells out. But I always,
that's because we we don't want to put everything up all at once because we take some of that stock to shows and but the Gold Knight, it was like after Legion's Con, all that stuff, we counted everything we had left. We're like, all right, this is all we have left. Let's put it up. And that's pretty much it. Maybe we have a handful because sometimes I don't put everything in case somebody's order gets lost,
Now, is that something that you're in charge of? Like the inventory of your stock, is that something that you control? Like how does that work on your, like, are you in charge of basically the in-stock sale? Is that your baby?
In-stock sales are usually a combination of like myself and Jeremy figuring stuff out. A couple of the items that we put this past week were things that Cookie was like, hey, like these are items I want to just clear out of the warehouse. Like out of this list, can we put some stuff up?
Yeah.
And I took a look at the list and I put a couple of the things, not all of them, but a couple of the things up there because I was like, yeah, let's just put these out there, get them done. Like the unknown one. Like now we're out of unknown ones. That's it.
Yeah, I think it's fun. Like it gets me engaged. Like I will hop on every day and just see like, and then, group chats, because there's a million group chats and they're like, hey, unknown one is up, and as long as it took me to think about do I want one, it was gone. So, if people see those, check it and there might be something new on there or something is restocked or something. You never know, but hop on it because it could be there today and gone tomorrow. I was lucky enough to get the Headless Horseman, the original one. Well, I had a friend pick it up for me because I was working, but I was lucky because that thing sold out super quick too.
We didn't have a lot of them.
It's just fun, and I've talked and debated with people about reissues and stuff and how I wish you guys could do reissues more, but I know that there's a cost thing. I think Chris has talked about it a little bit. Like I love the mystery boxes. I thought it was such a great idea that newer fans, people that are newer to Mythics, get a chance to get a Faunus or Shadow Elves or whatever, Kador, but some of the older fans get a little salty by saying, well, the value, dips or, it's not, but I love the reissues. Is there a negative side to that, like fiscally, or is it win for you guys? Like, what's your thoughts?
I mean, really like the idea of the reissues is a way to like give newer fans a chance to get these older figures. And it was the mystery box thing was us trying something new, and it people really liked it.
Yes.
Will we do it again? I don't know. Maybe. Will we continue to do reissues? That's another thing. I'm not entirely sure. We may not. We're obviously like going in a different direction with like the all-stars because one of the things is that when we do like the all-stars waves where we have older figures that are with newer figures and all that, those older figures tend to like not sell as well in terms of like they sell and like people get them, but like when our retailers place their orders, usually those figures, kind of take a little longer to sell. And honestly, we were looking at them and we're like, the old figures are great, they're awesome, but the stuff we're putting out now is even better. So
I agree. I say that a lot. Some of it is for people that are maybe not completionists, but like me, like I started late, and there was a lot of great figures out there, and you guys, reissuing some gives me an opportunity to enjoy some of the older figures. But I get, like Eric has said, I'm more interested in doing future versions, like the new Otho that they showed at so that gets us excited too. So it's I don't know, it's a fun thing to look forward to. I get it. But I love the reissues. I thought it was a lot of fun. And I love that you guys try different things.
and it's not saying that we'll never do it again. Like we might do a select couple of figures to do reissues, but it's we also want to focus on what's coming out, what's
Mhm.
good, what's going forward. Like Eric said,
Mhm.
we can take these awesome characters and make them even cooler.
Yes, absolutely.
I've definitely championed for a couple select characters to get updated versions. I won't say who, because who knows, they might actually happen.
Right.
But I would just rather see that because you know back in the early days, when I was a fan of Mythics, back at the Kickstarter, I was backing it. I backed it and went all in. And I even would make the joke like, oh, I guess everybody in Mythos goes to the same armor. Like everybody's got the same breastplate, like
Yeah.
one or two sets of
Right.
pauldrons, and like, hey, the the Horseman did an awesome job of like making those same parts look
Yes.
cool and different with all
Absolutely.
those original figures. Like, they did a great job. Now we're at the point where we have expanded the parts library so much, you get even more
Crazy.
unique characters with
Yeah.
the same parts.
And you're seeing like cosmic and mythic,
Yeah.
getting mashed up, which I think is awesome too.
The Thygar torso is what was used for the Ninian infantry,
That
and that's
that
something.
figure.
Yeah, dude. That's something that was like all along sort of in the plan. Eric's always wanted to do like reptile
Mm-hmm.
soldiers. It was just a matter of where do they fit in.
Yeah.
And this current wave, Rise of the Beasts, um, is the is that moment, because in the lore of Mythos, snake men and women have always existed because of Basilia,
Mm-hmm.
the head of that faction. And they were kind of myth before now. Yeah, there
Yeah.
he is, Indian infantry.
Yeah, I've told people a few times already. I'm like, Eric has a way of making me want something I didn't even know I wanted. You know what I mean? Like I never thought like, a snake man would be something that, but man, in hand, for people that missed Legion's Con, it's been said in the in Source Horseman, hopefully early next year it'll be up for retail. Do not sleep on this figure. Like Valiant Knight was probably my top 10 figures still. This is the new Valiant Knight. Like it's not a knight, but it is so, the paint, the head sculpts, the body, it's just, oh my god, it's amazing.
Oh yeah.
I hear your kitty.
Yeah, you hear my cats running around being lunatics. I don't know what's up
We
with
have an
them.
hour. We talked an hour. Do you still have time? Do you want to
Oh
do you want to
yeah.
pick up another time, or
No.
I still got questions. I got questions,
Yeah,
man.
I'm for it. I'm good for another hour if you want,
Right on. I like that. So I was talking about Legion's Con, and that kind of was leading me to a question was, you guys work so damn hard, but as a fan of things or things that happen there or people that, sell stuff, what was your impressions as a fan, and did you even get to enjoy yourself as a fan, or were you so busy in your work mode?
I could tell you Friday and Saturday, I was definitely in work mode all day. I did manage to run to the Glyos table on Friday and buy a bunch of stuff because I
You
knew.
got a box there, so
Oh yeah,
if you want to. Thankfully, the tables were like right next to you guys, so you didn't have to run far. You just had
That's
to
what.
throw them your wallet.
Yeah, like
Here's
yeah,
my debit card.
I went a little nuts at the Glyos table.
Well, you're known for being a Glyos fan now.
Yeah. I this is mostly this is pretty much all from Legion's Con.
Do you have anything open that you can show us?
Oh yeah, this is all like open stuff technically. I just put it in other bags just to make it easier. Let me
Do you display everything? Do you have room to display all your Glyos, or
I don't have them up on display because I kind of like toying around with them and ripping them apart. And also, there's only so much room. Let me see, what's a good one? Oh, this is one that a fan gave me actually. At the checkout at Legion's Con, I was checking them out, and they're like, "Hey, Diego, here, I have this for you," and I really like it because this is what was it by I think Cappy puts this out. It's like I think they're called like Outsiders, and yeah, this one's really cool because it's kind of almost got a color scheme of like a xenomorph from Alien.
Yeah,
and I'm a big fan of the Alien franchise. That was one of the best parts about when I worked at NECA was all the aliens and predators.
Oh man, their aliens are still. Are you gonna get the new Alien Romulus figure that?
I'm hoping to. I'm hoping to when it comes out. Let's see. This is one that Pat put out. This is just the build I did with it.
That's awesome.
This is what's Bio Masters. That's Pat's store, right? I think so.
I wanted to ask you while we're on Glyos, there was a figure that came out. I don't know anything about the line. I know Steph has wanted me to start collecting, and I look at this stuff, but there was a figure and I missed out on it that I want, but I don't know who made it. It was a humanoid kind of angel looking female with like a clear helmet.
Oh, the Outer Spaceman.
Yes.
You want to know what's funny about those? Those were sculpted by Four Horsemen Studios.
Really? I didn't know that. Yeah, I saw that and I'm like, I want one of those. And I think I waited and now I can't find them anywhere.
So you can go to their website, outerspaceman, I think .com or something.
Outer Spaceman, okay.
But those were originally sculpted by the Four Horsemen.
I did not know that. Yeah, I love that. I guess I'm a humanoid kind of person, but
do I have one here? I have
Spaceman. Okay, I'm gonna look that up later.
Yeah. I also have George's skeleton.
Yeah, I missed out on that. I wanted to pick one up, but I didn't want to bother him. He was busy.
Dude, he would have definitely sold you one. He had him there at his checkout. and then I think one of the Glyos guys was selling it for him. Yeah, this is me putting some extra stuff on it.
Heck yeah. I love the gold.
Yeah, the sword and gun and jacket are from Toy Pizza, who's another Glyos maker, awesome dude, Jesse DeStasio. Yeah, this jacket's from his new Cray figure, which you probably would like because it's very humanoid and articulated. And I don't have one within arm's reach right now. I have one over there, but
send me a message when you have time. I'll check it
Yeah,
out. Yeah,
no, will do.
enable me, Diego. Enable
Oh
me
yeah,
into stuff.
and then this is a bag of Pat's mutant. No, yeah, this is the mutant, right? There's the mutant and something else.
I didn't get to talk to him this year. I
Yeah.
got so damn busy that I didn't. Last year, like we talked for an hour, and I loved it. But this year, I just got so damn busy.
Huh. Yeah, this is the vampire mutant that he had at Legion's Con.
Yeah.
And the thing about Pat stuff that makes me spend a bunch of money with him is his figures have these like 4 different types of limbs. And each figure comes with, one of each. So this is like the goo arm.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a goo head.
Oh, I love that head.
And yeah. And then there's the this is like the tail head, but like I love this one as just a head.
Yes.
Then there's a robot arm and a whole bunch of other parts. Yeah, here's like a regular kind of flesh leg, and there's like a more like spacesuity leg. So the thing is with his figure is each figure comes with one of those, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's say I want to make a complete goo dude. That means I may need to buy 4 of his figures so I can get 4 of the goo limbs. So like, here's 2 arms, and
Yeah.
then you can use the arms also as legs. So I need to get 4 of them just to get those 4 arms, and then I would, swap this head out for the goo one.
So they're just insanely popping and swappable
Yeah.
to the nth degree.
Oh yeah, like you can once you realize that about Glyos, you realize how Mythic Legions was originally supposed to be
Mm-hmm.
a Glyos line, and why the popping and swapping is such a important aspect to Mythic Legions is because it comes from this tradition.
Mm-hmm.
That's one reason why we're doing a collab with Onel Design, Matt Dowdy, with the Infinite Legions.
That was going to be one of my questions. Yeah. Can you tell me about that a little bit?
So this is something like
what you can. Tell me what you can.
Well, even I'll tell you this, that reveal that they showed,
Mm-hmm.
that was the first time I saw that.
Wow.
I knew we were doing something. Here's a more humanoid looking guy from
That's the Glyos.
Yeah, this is
Wow.
Glyos.
I love how different they all are,
Oh yeah. Here's a built up. This is a built up version of one of Matt Dowdy's characters.
Oh, I love that.
Faden. So yeah. I built him up more to have like longer limbs and stuff, but but yeah, so Faden is like his like iconic character, and we're doing or Eric sculpting basically a Cosmic Legions version of him. And I kind of been bugging for a while. Eric and them, I've been like, hey, when are we gonna do like a Cosmic collab? Like, when are we gonna do a Glyos collab? Like, that'd be so awesome. And for a while, Eric's been like, oh, trust me, it's in the works. It's in the works. Like we've been talking, and I didn't realize it was like this far along. Like with this rough, I say rough sketch, rough sculpts, because Eric's rough sculpts are still amazing.
Yes.
But yeah, no, Matt Dowdy's an amazing guy. If you ever have the pleasure of talking to him, he's the father of Glyos. Oh, there's my cat. He's literally the father of Glyos. He invented the Glyos system. He oversees the production of pretty much all the Glyos lines that are out there. If you want to make a Glyos figure, you got to get it okayed with Matt, because he's the keeper of the keys, but
Yeah.
he's not about keeping doors closed. He wants to open doors for everybody. Like, he is just one of the most amazing human beings I've ever
Mhm.
met.
He spoke at GCon, right?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
And he just a very touching story about like how this character Faden like kind of came to be. And for anyone, like, I can't even do the story justice. If you want to like have a tearjerker moment, like just listen to the story about it has to do with him and his wife, and it's just beautiful. And
Mhm.
like he's so fascinating. You could sit and listen to him talk for hours, and you
Mhm.
can, because he will talk, and
Yeah.
you'll never get bored.
I love
You're
people like that though, that want to share and have stories to tell, and I love that. That's
he
awesome.
he also got COVID at the end of the,
Did he?
of the
Oh
yeah,
no.
and he texted me and he's like, I just tested positive. And I'll read what he said, because it was a funny way to look at it.
Was the so are is the new mythic or infinite legions figure, is that going to be compatible with the other Glyos figures?
Well, the Infinite Legions is gonna be like Cosmic Legions figures, so it's gonna be compatible with our figures.
Oh, okay. So the picture that they showed, is that going
Was
to be like an actual 6 or 7 inch
Yeah,
size?
it's gonna be
Okay, I thought they were
like this.
smaller. Okay, I thought they were the smaller, like
No, they're gonna
Hayden
be
is.
now. It's bringing Glyos to our world.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense to me. I understand that now. Okay.
Um, but yeah, let me. So he texted me that Wednesday after Legion's Con. He said just tested positive for COVID. And I was like, "Oh no!" And he said, "We're now linked." Like that. That was his
Yeah,
response. We're now
yeah, we were
linked.
all biologically
We've
shared.
all been,
We overshared.
yeah, we've all been infected with the same organism that's linked
Yeah,
us. And I just that was like such like a Matt response, and it just made me chuckle when I could like barely talk.
yeah. Oh man, I was so sick, dude. I was so sick.
You got hit too?
Oh man, yeah, yeah. I couldn't talk. I had picked up Andy the Collector and in Indiana, which was about 2 hours out of my way, but he said he'd share gas and we shared a room and all that stuff. So it saved us both money. And by the time I dropped him off in Indiana, I still had 2 more hours. I had the shivers. I was like, a headache and I was just exhausted, man. I was so sick. And then I had given myself a few days off before I went back to work on Thursday. So I got home Monday, late Monday, like 3 in the morning Monday, or so that'd be Tuesday morning. And I was like bedridden. I'm like, I'm so sick. And then I got my fiance sick and I got her dad sick. I'm like, I'm sorry, guys. So once I got better, I took care of them and got them back on their feet. But yeah, it was rough, man. It was such an amazing Legion's Con, but man, we all got, not all of us, but man, a lot of us got sick on that.
Oh yeah, dude. I also got my fiance sick, so we're both like laid up. Like
Yeah,
within like a day or two, she also started feeling it. So
yeah, it's hard. I mean, when you're living with people, like I tried to keep myself separate from her dad because her dad lives with us, and like I tried. I'm like, Bob, you go and get your dinner and do what you got to do, and then I'll come down and but I had the sanitary wipes and I was wiping handles and all that, and he still got sick. I'm like, I'm so sorry, man. you know, you try, but it is
you
what
try
it
your
is.
best.
Try your best. So I wanted to change gears again to the wave Reign of the Beast. Well, I don't know if the dragon, I guess, is not really considered part of that wave.
Yeah,
I
no, it's its own standalone thing for sure.
um well, one real quick question on the Infinite Legions.
Mm-hmm.
Is that going to be like a standalone figure that you know? I mean, I'm not trying to get information from you, but will it be part of a wave, you think, or will it be like a standalone, or do you not know yet?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
I think it's still a little early on,
Okay.
but I don't know. It might be a standalone. Maybe there'll be a couple others. I'm not sure. I hope there'll be a couple others. Like
It'll
that'd
be
be cool.
fun, yeah, to be able to pop and swap amongst them would be cool.
I mean, I legitimately don't know, but I would love if like each one of them came with a Glyos figure. Like I
Ooh,
I would personally love that. I don't know if that would
that's
just be too expensive or
that's a
what,
great
but
idea.
it's like, you have your like figure and then like there's
Mhm.
like a little dude with it. Like that'd be awesome.
That would be some enabling right there for sure.
So that's a personal hope, but I really don't know. Because also when you think about it, like Eric was like super busy throughout the weekend, so I couldn't really like pick his brain too much about it.
Mhm,
And then we all got sick with COVID, and
mhm.
then we all came back to the office. And by the time we came back, it's already been like over a week since Legion's Con, and I've got a pile of work I got to catch up on.
Yeah, back to reality.
Yeah, so I still have to pick Eric's brain about that one, find out some
Absolutely.
more.
Yeah, I loved Intern because it kind of gave us a little bit of a glimpse of what you guys do, like individually, like how close some of you guys work. I didn't see where you worked at. Like, I didn't see your.
Really?
Oh no, I just that was dumb. Yeah, I saw your whole. I sat on the couch. I was just thinking, I'm like, is it in the shipping area? But yeah, I didn't sit at your desk or nothing. But like, speaking of, that room is freaking. It's astounding in that your collections. Those those are all yours, right?
Yeah, that's my office. It's got all of my stuff in there.
You're okay. I don't know anything about Joy Toy. Like it's been people have been talking about it lately for some reason more. But those Warhammer figures are freaking super cool, man.
Oh, dude, I have been a big fan of the Warhammer universe since I was like 12 years old. Like it's been something that I paint miniatures, all that stuff since like 3rd edition Warhammer, and now they're on like 9th or 10th edition.
Mm.
Um and
It, it,
when they started making action figures, I was like, holy shit, like this is
I'm there.
this is what like I've always wanted. Like I've always
Yeah.
wanted Warhammer action figures.
Now, do you
Um
have them all? Because
no,
that
dude.
whole shelf thing was like, I took a picture. I'm like, I don't know who to share it or who I can show this to because I don't know anyone else that's a huge. I should show it to Andy because he was talking about it like on the drive home. But like your display, maybe I'll have it in the comments. If is it okay to post that?
Yeah, totally.
It's like I don't know what kind of like a curio, like a bookshelf or something.
Yeah.
But like each figure was like perfectly stood, and you had them separated by like was it colors or are they factions or
Yeah, by like because I have mostly Space Marines, so by like Space Marine chapter basically. I have them organized, and the big focus is my Black Templars and Imperial Fists because in the game, like that's Black Templars was my Space Marine chapter that I started with, so I really they hold a special place in my heart. But that's trust me, that's only like a drop of what's out there.
are you
Like
serious?
I'm dude, it is
Holy
insane.
crap.
People complain about Mythic Legions or Four Horsemen always dropping stuff and their wallets hurting. You want a line that's gonna make your wallet hurt? The Joy
Get
Toy,
ready for the pain. No, I
dude.
don't know. I'm lucky in that I can dip and buy something and then be gone. Like not with Mythics. That was different, but like I can have a one of something.
See, that's the
Maybe.
thing. Like with the Joy Toy, I am selective. I don't get everything because one, I can't afford it because I would never have any money. It's already bad enough that I'm a Glyos addict,
Right?
um, but with the Joy Toy stuff, it's like even the stuff that I'm like, oh, that I really like that character. Like, even trying to be selective like that, I still can't keep up. Like, there's so much out there.
Yeah. I'm a big motorcycle guy, so you gotta tell me where I can get like the Marine with and buy a motorcycle that he fits on.
Oh yeah, I
I
had
don't,
one of those. Yeah,
yeah, I don't care really what color. Like I saw that there's white, there's yellow and black, I think, or
there's several different ones that are out there. I know there's a Black Templar one. There's definitely a Ultramarines one, which is blue.
yeah.
There's probably a White Scars one that would
Is
make
it
sense.
is it 1/18th scale? Is it 1/12th?
Technically, they're 1/18th scale. Yeah, Space Marines are huge. Like,
They're bulky. Yeah,
they're big dudes. Like, they're genetically modified humans.
yeah.
So, at 1/12, not 1/12, 1/18th scale, like, which is you actually, this is like 1/18th scale, right?
Yeah.
But like a Space Marine stands up to there
Yeah,
usually.
they're bigger. So
Yeah.
it's weird that there wouldn't be considered 1/12th, but
Well, no, because in that scale, that's how big they would be.
oh, I see. So their human bodies are smaller because they're in the armor. But
No, dude, they're bigger. Like, they're big humans. Like, they're modified
oh,
to be like
oh,
giant.
I didn't know that. Okay.
So you'd look at it and you'd be like, oh, the scale's completely off, like blah blah blah. And it's like, no, dude, no, your 1/18th scale guy is supposed to look small next to them.
Oh, I
And
see.
then there's the Primarchs, which are like the progenitors of the Space Marines. And they're like this big. Like, if this is 1/18th, they're like,
So they're all to scale to each other.
yeah.
Oh
That's just
wow.
how big those characters are.
I don't think I could do it, man. I don't think I could do it. There's too much.
It's
There's too much. You got to tell me where to get
it's
the
a lot.
motorcycle and the Marine. You have to let me know
Yeah.
where I can find one of those at. But yeah, I was just astounded. Like I wanted to tell you, and I think you were busy and I was busy, but I wanted to tell you that display was incredible. So
I was working hard. That was one thing I was working hard on leading up to Legions Con, because when the office was getting like cleared out, and like a couple of those bookcases, like two of those tall bookcases
mhm,
became like up for grabs, and I was like, oh, I'll put them in my office.
I'll take it.
And I had like smaller ones there, but I ended up replacing them with the tall ones, and I was like, oh man, I gotta like make sure everything looks good, like for intern day, because like, it was all kind of like a mess, and I was like, all right, I gotta get this in shape by intern day. And like, I'm telling you, there were figures that like I had put off opening that got me into high gear to open them
Yeah,
up and put them
yeah,
out, like make
yeah.
it look nice. So
It was the intern was just so cool. Like there was so much to see,
yeah,
like every person that is an action figure collector would love to have an office like yours or George's. Like there's just it's like right now I have a tiny room that's my room, and it's just surrounded, like I'm surrounded with stuff that I love. So like I would love to be able to have a workspace that has so much stuff that I love, but then I'm like, would I be distracted by this? Would I be working and like just staring at like, this inhumanoid figure over here that I love? Like what would you know what I mean? Like, but it was just amazing to see you guys' work areas.
yeah, dude. I've always had lots of toys all over my desks. Um, my my work desk, which is at the other corner of this room, I don't use it as much because that computer is kind of kaput. But I'd be, working from home or doing stuff, and like I would just have random figures that I got in that I would play with a little bit, set it down, work a
Mhm,
little while, let it play it. At NECA, I had like piles of like broken figures because I did customer service there too,
mhm.
amongst a lot of other things. But I'd have like piles of like broken figures that I'd cobble together and make like customs, or you know, or sometimes I called them customer service monsters, which I would like purposely get like crazy parts that don't look like they go together and like mash them all together.
Mhm.
I think I had like a TMNT foot soldier that had a Shin Godzilla head and like I think gremlin hands, like all different like naked stuff, and mashed it together. And I would give them to people. I'd be like, "Here's your customer service
There you
monster."
go. Yep, there you go. Yeah, I love that you. Where's it at? That you sold me when you did the toy store, the Toys R Us. No, it was the eBay toy store, right? On eBay.
The NECA eBay
Yeah,
store,
like you sold me like a giant the was it
the 1/4 scale.
1/4 scale, yeah, Batman 66. I love that.
Yeah, that was definitely me. If it was
That
back
was you.
when,
Yeah. Yeah, I
yeah.
love that thing. Like that's the second version. Like the one that you sold me, it fell. He tried to do like a
Uh,
night adventure and his leg broke. And I still
uh,
have it, but I just love that we had that interaction even, how many years ago was that? That was a long time ago.
yeah, dude. That was a long time ago.
That was a minute. That was a minute.
Yeah,
And if you
a
want to
lot of.
hear more about Diego's story, check out the first episode. The
Oh
first
yeah,
episode he was in, he goes into his history of NECA, which is super interesting.
yeah.
What did I want to ask you? Oh, you talking about cobbling a figure together. Have you ever, and you don't have to answer, but I'm just curious, have you ever thought about like starting your own? Because I know a lot of people are doing it now, like starting your own kind of like figure, how like Chris does D13, and that's a lot of
Yeah.
work. It's like he's got waves of stuff. But what about like an Odious or something like that? You ever think about doing that for yourself?
Uh, I have actually. I've thought about it. I've thought about doing stuff maybe with Glyos.
Hmm.
Matt's always telling me, to do it. I need to just, conceptualize some stuff. Bill and I have like a little like minifigure toy line that we've been toying with for probably over a year now.
Hmm.
And it's just we might actually do that. Has a better chance of getting done because one, Bill is a great sculptor, and that's part of the the key part of it is getting them sculpted and
Hmm.
prototyped.
Right.
um I
It's
would
a lot
just
of work on top of your work that you do already.
yeah, yeah. So um yeah, it's been a process of having the time to sit down and like figure out the logistics of like the business end stuff. Like that kind of would be what I would be responsible, for, I guess, when if Bill and I, did something, because like he's the talent, and then we would come up with ideas together.
Hmm.
But I guess, to pull my weight, I have to like figure out the logistical end of like
Yeah.
LLC.
I just think it'd be fun. But I mean, I don't know enough about figures, but I think the creative side would be interesting to me. But I mean, I don't know anything about the whole, all the other facets to it. Like Chris, I can't imagine Chris doing his job and then putting on a different hat and doing that job. Like, I can't imagine that level of busyness.
Yeah. Yeah. Chris is definitely involved in a lot of toys.
Absolutely.
Um
Absolutely.
yeah, and then his stuff should be coming out hopefully soon.
Mhm.
I'll probably end up doing all the labels for that too. Um
I love that the studio is gracious enough to, work with him in that. I think that kind of shows what a great group of people that the Horsemen are. You know what I mean? Because I mean,
yeah.
yes, it's not competing. It's not a competing figure, but still, it's not a Horseman figure. But you're still, doing your thing alongside or adjacent to the line. Like, I don't know. I think
Yeah.
that's cool on their end.
And like, George has got, George has done many toys over the years, but like, he just redid
Double
his
T.
Titan skeleton in his iconic purple color.
Yeah.
Um you know, George has always had like purple has always been like his like personal like colorway that he does. It's like a specific Pantone. So it was before Purple Gang Gang.
That's right.
He's been rocking the purple since before then, but
Yeah.
it doesn't help that purple's gotten a resurgence in our community.
It definitely has definitely upped in popularity since the boys have
Dude,
you know,
those guys are hilarious. They're nuts, man.
yeah,
They
super
have me
positive,
cracking up.
super
Uh,
positive
oh yeah,
guys.
yeah, they're awesome. Van just kept doing stuff throughout the weekend that had me crack up. Like he'd just be in like some random costume. When they were flipping the George Gaspar sausage
Yes.
sign.
Yeah, I was talking to Sherry, and he like walked by in this like wiener costume with the Gaspar sign. I'm like, "What are you doing, dude?" I took a picture of him. He was like holding the sign, and then he was wearing like a Popeye outfit. I'm like, these guys have so much energy. You know, they
Yeah,
go to
dude.
all these shows and see the studio wherever they're at, and they're just like ambassadors of purple positivity. But man, they are crazy. They're
Dude,
crazy.
they're nuts in the best way possible. And
Yes, absolutely.
and
Well, I had a question before we wrap it up.
yeah, yeah.
Um, and it's kind of like um what I might start doing for people that have been in the community for a while. But I wanted to say or ask you, is there advice for new members of the community or new people that are new to Mythics, basically? Like what would be your advice to give someone that would be just starting the line?
Don't look back. Like don't try to be completionist. Um because it's as we discussed earlier, there's a lot that has come out and a
Yes.
lot that's hard to get. So don't let that intimidate you. You know, it's not a line that you need to be a completionist. You know, pick up what you enjoy, figures that you like, that are available, and then work your way back if you want to.
Mhm.
Um, you
There's
know,
so much
and
goodness.
yeah, and open your toys, play with them.
Yes.
Um, you know, that's kind of the crux of our line.
That drives me nuts. I had a friend that was like, he just bought one figure and then he started to buy more, which I'm like, yes, yes. I'm like the Jack Nicholson, like, yes, keep buying. And he wouldn't open them. I'm like, dude, open your figures, man. You've got like a minuscule of how awesome they are. Open
Oh
those
yeah,
bastards.
and hey, you know, I can't judge too bad because there's a bunch of I have a backlog of toys to open. But you know, I'm not an in package guy, you know, unless it's like some kind of exclusive where the packaging was like
Mm,
kind of part of it. Um, so yeah, open your toys, play with them. Um, you know, if you have a question about anything with Mythics, you know, we have an amazing community with the Cabal.
yes,
Everyone's super helpful and happy to answer your questions.
absolutely.
And you know, just know that we as a company really appreciate every single one of you, and it's 2 days after Thanksgiving. You know, we're thankful for all of you,
Thank you.
um, because you know you allow us to keep doing this and for this business to grow and make cool stuff. Because you know, pretty for the most part, everybody who works there like is a toy guy, you
Mhm,
know, and loves toys and loves being part of it. So you know, it's toy people making toys for other toy people.
mhm.
And yeah, just you know, find the figures that speak to you,
Yeah.
especially skeletons.
Yes, there you go. And I think that you guys have just been consistently awesome in your work. So it kind of shows that you guys have the synergy, by working together and creating, I love that story where, you suggested a cutoff piece for the headless horseman and they put it in there. Like, you had to be thinking like, who am I? Like, you guys listen to me. Like, like that type of, but that maybe endears you a little bit to them more. Like, I'm part of something here. Like, you guys are going to Red Robin's after, work or something like that. Like that type of family, I think it makes a better product. Like, I don't know anything about business, marketing, or whatever, but I think I can see like you guys working on so well together and making these amazing things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, we're a close company. Speaking of Red Robin, every half day we all go to Red Robin. So last Wednesday, right before Thanksgiving, we all went to Red Robin and
Mm.
had our lunch.
I love that.
Yeah, we all get along, and we all we all want to make sure that we're making a good product. We
Yeah.
want to make sure we're making good figures, because we care,
Yeah.
So
Everybody seems to care. And that, I think that really shows in the product and also in the community. And you guys are all being so damn cool at the shows and stuff and approachable. Like, that builds loyalty and love for the line, not just the products, but you know it just cements and gels everything together, and makes us fans of each other. Basically, it's a love fest. Love you guys and love your studio and your products and everything. I do have one more question, though. One more
okay,
question.
yeah.
Sorry. One more question. I had a picture here, so we have to talk about this for just a minute.
Yeah,
Um,
it'd be hard not to ignore the
yes.
dragon in the room.
Yeah, I was gonna sign off on, like, it's been an hour and 40. People have already not even listening anymore, probably. But for me, I wanted to talk to you about this real quick. So Brad, Eric's brother,
Hmm.
did a short mini doc on Birth of the Dragon, which I thought was fantastic. But what I really enjoyed about it was that it showed pretty damn near everybody working or doing something that involved the dragon. And so my question to you, and not to put you on the spot, but what was your involvement in the dragon, in the process of the dragon?
Well, like when Eric talks about like the size of it, it was kind of one of those things where we all, like kind of collectively would looked at it and decided, hey, like, yeah, the bigger one looks better.
Right.
We got to go bigger.
So does that
And
become like a shipping thing, like a logistical?
well, there is a shot of like us like around the table looking at the park,
Yes.
and part of that was like a little like for the documentary. But then while we had it out there, I was asking legitimate questions like, okay, like, do we have shipping? Like, when is the factory going to have shipping dimensions for us? Like, blah, blah, blah. Like, I need, because such a large item, I need to know how big the
Yes.
dimensions are going to be.
Right. Yeah. You guys
So
have that warehouse space.
yeah,
And is it
um,
going to be shipped in parts? Is it going to be all together? Is some assembly required?
there likely will be some assembly, but not a drastic amount. But yeah, it's like 5 feet from like head to tail, right?
That's insane, dude.
Or like four, something like that. 4 feet maybe. I don't remember. The
Yeah,
documentary's got all. There's pictures with the this, but it's huge. It's huge, and
huge.
the wings will likely be detached. You'll have to pop those in.
Yeah,
Um,
just awe-inspiring. Like, until you see it, like, you don't understand.
oh yeah, yeah,
The textures that Eric said he did, like, by hand, all
oh
the
yeah,
scales. Is just, it's
and
insane.
Sherry, like I like again, like I have to give her props because she, really brought it to life. Like there was a moment like early on, like when she first started painting it, that she had like the direction of like the colors that it had to be,
Hmm.
and like she was painting it and something was off, and then we were all kind of like, yeah, something's a little off. And she thought it too, and then she brought down the tones to like these real earthy tones, and
Mhm.
literally like on her desk had like moss, a dried leaf, like mulch, like dirt, like all in a little dish um that she was using as like reference for
Mhm.
this dragon. And like when she started doing that and toning the colors like a different way, it like clicked, and it was like, oh, that's it, like that's it, you nailed it. um and then, also this is a huge piece, like she was painting sections at a time.
Yeah, I can't
and
even grasp that. Like,
and then like once it was assembled, then she could see like everything flowing, and then she went back in and like adjusted spots and tweaked colors and added more washes and all this. And like, man, but she killed it, like, because when Eric was first describing it, he was like, yeah, I want it to be like green and orange, and in my head I was like, green and orange,
I would
like
be the
how,
same way. I'm like,
I was like, green and orange, like how is that gonna look? And then like Sherry like got it, and it's like these really, like, it's like an earthy orange,
yeah,
like a leaf, or like a pumpkin, or like like a
yeah.
vegetation, and it makes sense. Like it looks great, it looks fantastic,
I,
and
I wonder how close the colors are to what Eric was intending visually.
probably pretty close,
Yeah,
because um and if anything, like Eric's got a great sense of vision, like his imagination and what he can come up with. It's like a one in a million, like, creative mind.
yeah, yeah. No, I agree. That guy, just watching him create an intern just blew me away. Like it was an honor just to be in that room. And I was kind of asking him questions about his process and, does he have like a bank of, creations that he can, pull out, does he, create every day? And after the show, I kind of walked over to him after our time, and I said, "Hey, I hope that I wasn't like felt like I was heckling you, or he's like, no, no, I appreciate you asking questions and being engaged, because after a while, him just talking, it's like he's not droning on, but for him, it's like a spiel, like he was saying what he would say when he's creating something, but like people are asking questions based off of what he's saying. It keeps his mind engaged while he's creating and stuff. So he was okay with that. He didn't kick me out of the studio, but it was just so amazing to see his mind, you know, just for a few minutes, like creating stuff in front of us was a rare treat. So any fan of this line, every year try to get into to intern, because you get to see amazing people like Diego and where he works at, but also get to see, all the cylinders in place and giving you a glimpse of the amazing things that they create. So it's a lot of fun, and I'm a fan. That's all.
And we're glad to have you as a fan. You're a great member of the community, and
Thank you, man.
a great dude. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here.
I appreciate that, man. I always look forward to seeing you and picking your brain and talking to you and stuff, and always would love to have you on whenever you feel like it, or whenever you have something you want to show off or talk about, or it doesn't have to be mythic. If you want to show off anything that you picked up, or something you're excited about, you're always welcome. You could even be a co-host, if you ever want to, so you're always welcome, and I consider you a friend, and I appreciate you giving me your time today, man. Thank you very much.
No problem, and I appreciate you having me. I did,
Yes.
purposely say today, because I was like, what, I'm gonna give
Yes.
Schmurf the scoop
I
on.
I thought about that. I'm like, I wonder, because he said, yeah, I was like, Saturday. I wonder why Saturday. And I'm like, this is why. This is why right here. Look at
Yeah,
that. Beautiful.
so. Wanted to give you a little inside scoop, give you a
Yes.
little taste of it. This ethereal figure.
And it's all wired.
Yeah, dude, it's all wired.
How many
Apparently-
hands does she come with? Can you
all right. So there's the
You don't have to show
4
me.
already on there, right?
And she's got more. Huh?
She's got this is on the tray.
Okay.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Dr. Brent is like, does she have a trigger finger? I'm like, why would she need a trigger finger? Come on, man. She ain't got no machine guns.
But I will say, make sure you heat up the figure before you wash the hands.
More advice for new people. Yes. Do not be afraid of that water.
Use heat.
Yeah.
Use hot water or a hair dryer.
Yes.
To get these joints ready for popping and swapping. Because especially 2.0 hands, we're always trying to find a solution for it. It's just the way that the sculpt is, the wrists are so thin because to make sense anatomically.
Yes.
That if you pull them incorrectly, they'll snap. But just a little heat, get it, especially on the forearm, get that heated up and carefully pop it out, and you should be good to go.
Excellent, man. I appreciate that.
That's my customer service.
Yes. No, I appreciate that. And I hope, I'd love to have information as well as good interviews and stuff. So I hope that people that are new to the show would heed some advice in that. And it's not a defect of the figure. It's just the manufacturing process. It stuff needs to be warmed up a little bit to make it more, articulated and stuff. Mm-hmm. So, it's just a natural thing that hopefully, and it's not just this toy line. Like I had a loose collector. I don't know if you've seen, they've got these giant wolves, and this thing is like, a foot tall, and all his limbs were just super tight. So I had to get a big salad bowl and just dunk them in the hot water, and it's respecting your figures. You want to make sure that they can articulate and move like they're supposed to. So you want to make sure that and put some hot air or hot water on those figures and give them the opportunity to loosen up so that you can get some nice poses.
Exactly. I've definitely broken a couple wrists and
it hurts.
It hurts. For other lines. A couple of Joy Toys. I definitely broke a couple, which I was like, oh, damn it. But
dang it, man.
Just a little sticky tack, and
All right, my friend. I appreciate you so much, man, and I look forward to the next time I see you. Thanks for being cool. Tell your girlfriend hi, and thank you for, let me borrow you for 2 hours, and the cats. Give them a scratch for me.
I will. Thanks for having me on, buddy. Always a pleasure.
You, have a good one, man. Bye.
You too.
Remember, friends, to always have fun, be curious, share, and enjoy what this line has to offer. Come for the toys, but stay for the friends. Good night, and thank you very much.